This is Tyler Burke with Spank Gaming. I got Trevor Mcinnes here, who just got first place at the OTS 3v3, or the 3v3 at Big Boy Games this past weekend. He was player B. Do you want to give any shout-outs before we get started?
Yeah, shout out to my teammates, Roy and Tebow, getting clapped up back there at locals, and then shout outs to my online testing partners, Mateo, Max, and Shane. And shout out to BBG for having such an amazing tournament.
All right, and what did you play?
I played Generator. It's kind of just an off-meta deck that I think is really solid right now. It's got good matchups in the Kashtira, Branded, and Sprite, and no one knows what the cards do.
That's a good advantage.
You know, some of the matchups are just free.
Yeah.
Starting off, we have
all right, let's get into it.
3 Lopter, just the best card in the deck. This one tributes itself or any Generator monster to summon a Generator from deck. And during your opponent's turn, all your Generators gain 1,000. This is any Generator in the deck. It's the best normal summon. 3 Vala. This is their new monster. This is a custom card. It says pitch a Generator card, summon it if it's in the hand or grave, and then on summon it summons a Generator from hand or grave. So it's just free rank 9s. It gets all your effects. Just really good. 1 of names, 1 Mardell. It adds a Generator card. 1 Hela. It's Monster Reborn. Has the Omni Negate. Utada is removal, it's tribute 2 to banish a card, and then Nidhogg is Solemn Warning, and it's the only interruption that has to tribute 1, so that's the only reason I'm playing it, because I don't think it's that good. I considered cutting it a couple times, but that's just, it comes up quite a bit. Other normal summons, we have Diviner, because Vala is a 9, or it's a fairy, so you use enough of it to get access to it. It can also send Hierarchia, which is an insane card. This thing is a 9 on board, removal, and it also draws 2 if you have boss stage, which is insane. And you can also tribute the Diviner to get DD Sprite for Barone and Changing Lines, which come up quite a bit. And then the format tax of Ash.
It's everything.
Spells, 3 boss stage. This is the deck's Branded Fusion. It summons a Generator from deck, and then you get tokens to tribute, so it's just insane. Terraforming to search it. 3 Frost, because we want to see the good cards in our deck. Speaking of good cards in our deck, 3 Monstrosity. This thing says summon 2 9s from deck. I don't know why this card wasn't broken before, probably because the only good rank 9 was VFD. Now we have this one. So yeah, just gets whatever you want from deck. 3 Book of Moon. This was originally Chalice, but then we kind of realized that this and Chalice do the exact same thing in every matchup except Branded, and oftentimes this is better, just because things like Kashtira.
And your preference on that over Book of Eclipse is because of the Ashes format, I'm assuming?
Yeah, a lot of people are on Ash, and also I don't like my opponent drawing cards.
Okay.
You know, surprise, surprise, even though it triggers the field spell. You just don't want, you want to be able to out-resource your opponent. If they start getting an advantage, then you are just losing. Okay. Also, some people are starting to play Crossout, so I figure that people are much more likely to play Eclipse over Book and Crossout targets.
Okay.
1 Triple Tech, because it's funny. And then 1 Boss Fight, because it's searchable, and it gets the field spell from deck or graveyard. This was originally Metaverse for a bit, but the fact that your opponent draws so it immediately triggers it comes up a lot. And just being a pitch up Vala is really nice. 3 Imperm, just because it's the best hand trap that doesn't trigger things like Thruster Talents. And then 3 Evenly in the main. This was originally Nibiru, which ended up cutting completely from the list, because like all the good decks are playing around it. It doesn't really do much to Branded, and Kashtira just plays around Nibiru. This is a lot harder for decks to play around, and I just kind of wanted to maximize the cards people couldn't really play around, just because it makes matchups a bit easier.
Main deck in the evenings, were you doing go second at all, or were you?
No, it's still go first, but like you don't always win the die roll, and this card is just it's so good going second. And if you brick on it going first, I mean, your opponent's probably not going to kill you, and if they do, you're already losing because you bricked.
Okay.
I don't really think you can't really cut it for consistency cards because I don't think there's more you could play.
Okay.
So I just figured it's the best kind of go second card.
Makes sense.
Extra deck 2 Leviton. This is their other new card. This is also a custom card. It is a quick effect. You tribute it to summon this guy from your extra deck, and then you can attach cards from either field or graveyard up to the number of materials he has. So usually it's just 2, but like non-target, non-destruction removal that like it can't be targeted because it tributes itself is insane.
That's
summons
pretty
this
cracked.
guy. This guy has a quick effect. Both players draw a card and attach a card from hand or field to it, so it can continuously get bigger, and it can help you trigger your field spell for OTKs, which comes up a lot.
Okay.
I wish there was a better easy to summon, but there's just only that one. And then utility rank 9s, Earth Slicer and Interblethnier. These are just kind of removal things. This card can hit cards in your opponent's hand, which comes up in Grand Games a bit. If they're top decking, you can just get rid of their last card. And then usually have Har for the Omni Negate for their top deck. And then this is just pop 2, and it's 3100.
Okay.
2 Zeus, just because the second one comes up, and Kashtira. I need a second
Pretty standard this format, yeah.
Yeah. Lynx, Donner, Phoenix, and Lingeribo. I found myself randomly with monsters I didn't want. Things like Talent's Take. I think I got a Plunder Patrol token and like a Generaiders token. So these came up a bit. And then Lingeribo is not for Kashtira, because I feel like if they're ably locking you and setting up the board, you just lose. This is mostly in here for Sprite, just because like it gets the Ibly off your board and it deals with the double cross, which comes up a bit, which is really good against that. Synchro 10s for the DD Sprite line, Baron for going first, Chinger for going second, and then kind of a utility one, because the deck is a bunch of 9s, and Diviner's a 2. This one comes up a bit, some decks just can't out it at certain times of the game. And then Entis to just turn Diviner into removal, which comes up a bit.
Okay, that's pretty cheeky.
Also, making it a 6 comes up, because I think I like made a Baron with a token someone gave me that was a 4, so...
wow.
Diviner's just so weird and good in this deck.
It's pretty wild.
Side deck is 3 Turtle.
Okay.
Just kind of... This was originally Nibiru until it got completely cut. This is so much better. The amount of times this was my 6th card and it won me the game was insane. 3 Droll, just for the kind of the more rogue gimmicky decks. Things like Dark World, stuff like that. I guess even Kashtira and Sprite, but it's not as good against other decks, so...
Try to end their turn, give you a little more advantage.
Just a bit. Go second, turn skips, things like Skill Drain for Sprite and D-Barrier for Branded.
Okay.
Just kind of go first cards that help make your bad hands a bit better.
Okay.
Give you a turn to draw out of them. 2 Cosmic, because we don't like Runic. And then the funny card is Consecrated Light.
Consecrated Light.
So, this is what you bring in over DD Sprite if you're playing against things like Branded, or I've also brought it in against Live Twin Sprite. Just because Hierarchy attributes Diviner to get this from deck instead of the Sprite. And this says that neither player can summon or attack with dark monsters. And Branded doesn't really have a good convincing out besides things like Cartesia, which you can just take with Leviathan. It just puts them in a really weird state where they kind of have non-engine. They can't out it in-engine, and it does just kind of win the game from that point.
That's pretty good. That's pretty solid tech. But all right, I appreciate it, and congratulations again for your win.
Thank you.
Hey, if you're enjoying the content and want to support us, make sure to like, comment, and sub to the channel. Have a great day.